we started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Take me home, cause I wanna feel like I belong. They relate to all this pain in my past, so they listen to my song. So let's go back to where it began and where it all started from. Take this chance, one last dance, cause I've been waiting way too long. Take my hand, I wanna show you something. Promise I've been dying to see ya. They say the grass ain't always greener. I guess what they're saying is true. In my dreams, that's where I seen her. Take my heart and take all of me, girl. Let me show you what I wanna do. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. Are you listening, darling? Look where we started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Yeah, where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here?
Hello and welcome back to another live stream. Forgot to plug the mic in. Hopefully it's all good. But yeah, here we are back for another live stream. Of course, it is Thursday, the 17th of October. And as always, we will run through the Bitcoin technical analysis, take a look at what I'm looking at, what I'm currently planning for, because I am currently in no trades at this moment in time. A bit of an unusual unusual time for me, because normally I am in a trade. Doesn't mean that I have to be in a trade at all times, right? But it is always nice, of course, when you are in a trade and you are making some profits. And I do understand that I probably should be in a trade right now, but remember, the long trade from here, presented itself to us at 1 a.m. Even this one back here, it's it can get like this sometimes, especially when you are, more of a swing to day trader, right? You don't really have that, of course, set time that you start trading in the morning and then finish in afternoon or evening, whatever that may be. This for me is a bit of a 24/7 job, right? But that's how I like it. So of course, we will talk about my next plan, right? Because again, I am in no trades, right? This is my job, so the goal is to get myself into a trade, right? To, of course, pay those bills, right? So we will walk through that plan. We'll take a look at what I'm planning for, and then anything else that, of course, you guys want to talk about. So let's jump into it. But before we do, please do smash that thumbs up button. Helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can continue to bring this content to you. And then let's get into the analysis, right? So let's zoom out, just go over what's happening on the broader market perspective, right? So of course, 6 months we've been in this very, very big downtrend. Okay, very, very big downtrend, very prolonged downtrend, where we've seen the whole market pretty much be extremely bullish on all of these rises towards the upside. So all of these rises are amazing, they're great, right? They're being fueled by new trades coming in, but what's been happening is all of these long trades have been getting wrecked, on these pullbacks here, and all of these long trades have been saying, that, someone's out to get them, who's selling, blah, 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 when the reality of it is that these moves down were caused by these long trades that opened up, because these long trades that opened up were over leveraged, over positioned, and basically just FOMO long trades, right? And we know what happens to them the majority of the time. They do end up taking quite a big hit, right? And that's exactly what we've been seeing recently, exactly what we've been seeing. And it's just been kind of, proving my thesis on the market that, everybody is just incredibly bullish, just incredibly bullish. And, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but right? If you want to look for higher prices, it's a little bit hard to say it is a good thing when everybody is thinking the same thing, because we know what happens when everybody thinks the same thing, right? It doesn't really tend to play out. Okay, so yeah, where we are now. Okay, so of course, bigger bearish structure, right? To break that, we need to break above $70,000. That's the key area, right? $70,000 locally, right? A little bit more locally, still on the higher time frame. We are looking a lot more bullish. Okay, I've been saying this ever since we've been back here, starting this, starting this uptrend. Okay, I have been saying, right, this is actually quite bullish that we're starting to see higher time frame bullish structure. Why? Because if you zoom out for the past 6 months, 7 months, we haven't seen this, right? We just have not seen this. Okay, so this is really, really nice to see. Can this take us to all time high? Yes, of course it can. But what we just have to remember is that we do not want to be longing. Okay, on these moves up, we do not want to be FOMO longing, because we know what is most likely going to happen. Okay, that those FOMO long trades are going to get stopped out, right? So yeah, even even though we're in an uptrend here, okay, what did we have? Right, we had a short trade from here, right? Really nice short trade from there. We also had a really nice. Was it from here? Yeah, it was from here. We also had a really nice short trade from here. Okay, both of these short trades, okay, that I took were of course within this uptrend, right? But they were off of the same basis that this short trade, this short trade, this short trade, and probably some others on the smaller time frame were taken. Okay, exactly the same thesis, where lots of long trades opening up, right? Coming up to the high, but also longs opening up at the high. Price starts to pull back a little bit. And then, of course, we see those long trades that are at the high get trapped, okay, forced to cover, which is, of course, selling into the market, starting that domino effect of longs covering, selling into more longs who cover and sell into more longs, blah, 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 right? That's what we saw here, okay? Bit of a bigger, we saw a bit of a bigger long squeeze here. Didn't quite take out the low, which we were actually looking for. But again, at some point, a trend is going to come to an end, okay? We then saw another rise up, right, for another short trade. We took that down. It was a little bit of a smaller long squeeze, but nevertheless, it was a really, really, really nice trade. Okay, we've come up, we've looked for the same thing here. Okay, because what have we seen? We've seen the exact same thing, right? We've seen longs open up, we've seen longs at the high. Okay, and this is the bread and butter that I trade, especially over the past few months, right? Especially over the past few months, right? Longs opening up, longs opening up, longs opening up. Okay, longs at the high, longs at the high, longs at the high. All of them get completely wiped out. This is the bread and butter that I've been trading recently. Okay, so we've seen it here. Like I said here, long squeeze didn't take us down to a new low, but it was still a really good trade. Right, same thing here. Lots of longs opening up, longs at the high, long squeeze. Okay, maybe it wasn't the biggest, right? To be honest with you, this was the smallest long squeeze that we've seen in a very, very long time. Okay, but it was still a very profitable one, right? We were looking for the long squeeze here. Right, this is the plan that I had. Right, we saw lots of longs opening up. We saw longs at the high. Right, unfortunately, we did get stopped out of that trade. Okay, again, this is just probabilities, not in my favor, right, this time around. But then what you have to think is that probabilities have been in my favor the majority of the time. So, there's probably a higher chance that I'm going to come into a loss because, in terms of, this type of trade, we haven't taken a loss on that in quite some time, right? So yeah, this move up, okay, of course, we were looking for a bit of a long squeeze. Why? Right, because we know that the whole market is incredibly bullish at this moment in time. And even, looking at this bull flag here, right? Why are we probably seeing a lot of longs opening up at, close to this area here? Okay, well, because there are a lot of people who are anticipating a breakout, exactly like a lot of people were anticipating a breakout up here. Right? We saw an incredible amount of longs open up here, exactly like people were anticipating a breakout here. Okay, we saw what we wanted to see here, and we're kind of seeing what we want to see for a possible long squeeze, right? To squeeze out all of the longs up here. So there's still, in my opinion, a possibility, right? Of course, you can look at this, even though I don't like to look at horizontal trend, sorry, not horizontal, diagonal trend lines, okay, you can still look at this and think, okay, right, this is, this is resistance here. Okay, but nevertheless, we're still seeing longs open up, right? Why? Because these are the people who are thinking that they're early into the trade, okay, thinking that they are being maybe a little bit smarter, okay, and longing the anticipation of the breakout rather than longing the actual breakout, because really we haven't really seen that breakout yet, not in my opinion. And in terms of the order flow as well, I would say we definitely haven't seen the majority of the market believe that we have broken out of this. Why? Because if we were, I would be expecting just millions upon millions of longs to open up. Why do I think this? Well, because just look at what's plastered all over YouTube, all over Twitter by the big influencers, right? They're all talking about some sort of bull flag here, okay, and they're all talking about at some point we're going to get a breakout of this and we're going to go to 100k, okay. That is why, right, I am waiting, okay, patiently for an incredible amount of long trades to open up, right? I'm waiting for this breakout to see an incredible amount of long trades open up. And if I see what I want to see for a possible short trade, because of course I'm not going to be longing this, right? If I see what I want to see for a possible short trade, I will take that without hesitation because I know what will happen. Okay, I know what will happen if, of course, I do get that short trade setup, right? A very, very similar, okay, very similar, sort of thing that happened back here, maybe not to the same extent. I can't remember what the order flow was like, okay. All I can tell you is a rough idea of that: longs opening up, incredible amount of longs at the high, longs opening up, incredible. I know that for a fact, but in terms of the amount, I can't exactly remember, and I can't remember at which high, but there was like 100 million at one of these highs, okay, in one candle, right? 100 million longs on Bybit in one candle opening up at a high, right? That's kind of what I'm looking for on a possible breakout, okay. And that, of course, offers the best possible opportunity to enter into a short if you do, of course, get the short trade setup. Because, right, we could see all of these longs open up and we could see these longs continue to open up. We could see higher. Yeah, okay, maybe this could take us to 80, 90, 100,000. It could, right? But, okay, the likelihood of it, I don't really see that. Okay, I think it's a little bit unrealistic as a possibility. Okay, but what we have to remember is there's only so many people, that can, open up long trades. At some point, the longs are going to run out. Okay, and someone brought it up it's quite a while ago now. Someone brought it up and they mentioned how much money needed to flow into the market to for Bitcoin to reach like 200k, or I forgot what it was, but it was a hell of a lot. Okay, and it's I'm not sat here saying that we're never going to see those price targets, because I think it is a very big possibility. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm banking on for the next 5, 10, well, more like 10 years down the line. Okay, I've got a hodl portfolio where a lot of my trading profits feed into that. Okay, for 5, 10 years time in the future, right? Planning ahead. Okay, that proves to you kind of where I think Bitcoin is going to be in the future. Okay, a lot higher than where we are now, right? But in terms of where the market is at this moment in time, okay, and especially with, right, I'm speaking just for us in the UK. I can't comment on how it is in the rest of the world, but I'm guessing it's pretty similar in the rest of the world. A lot of people don't really have the money to spend on investing, right? Why? Because everything's so darn expensive at the moment, right? Everything is so expensive at the moment, right? Cost of living here in the UK anyway is literally at the highest. So factoring everything in, and again, this is not me talking in terms of technicals. Right, this is going to kind of like the fundamentals, something that I don't really do, but I do to an extent because it is good to understand. But yeah, I just don't really feel like that sort of inflow of money is possible in these circumstances that we are in the world at this moment in time. Okay, but yeah, once we get past these these stages, because we will, right, we will, then I think, right, that is a huge possibility, right. I'm banking on it myself, right, for plus 100k, right. But yeah, I can't remember who it was. It was a while ago now, so sorry if you are watching and it is you. But yeah, it was a long time ago now. It was a hell of a lot. Okay, it was a hell of a lot. I just don't see that happening this time around. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I just don't see that happening this time around. But yeah, at some point, okay, what I'm trying to get at here is the longs are going to come, run out at some point. So, even if we get longs, okay, coming in, at some point we're going to run out of longs, okay, and then we're going to get a big correction, okay, at some point. That's what happens every single time, okay. So yeah, we could see, right, a huge amount of longs open up. We may not get the short trade at 70k, right? We may not get the short trade at all-time high. We could continue to see those longs opening up, okay. And again, this is what I say, right? This is a good move up, and it works with a move down as well. New trades opening, okay, is a very good and strong move up, right? The point at which it becomes messy, right, is when we start to see, those really late FOMO, over leveraged, over positioned traders coming in, at kind of what we deem as resistance levels, right? Price starts to pull back ever so slightly, and yeah, exactly like we've seen. These are perfect examples where we just see these very quick moves down. Okay, no real structure to the moves down. Okay, yeah, maybe there was a bit more structure to this one here, but just this very quick and horrible, messy move down. Okay, so at some point, okay, no matter how high this goes, right, we are going to see something like this. We just are. Right? It happens both ways, even within a bear market, right? We don't just see in a bear market, we don't just see price going down. Okay, we do see these relief rallies, and a lot of these relief rallies are actually caused by the over leveraged, over positioned short trades getting wrecked. Okay, that's pretty much what it is, right? That's exactly what we saw in the bear market that we just had in terms of the bear market of when price was going down. Okay, I don't even think I was actually sharing my analysis on this channel back then. I wasn't, no. So yeah, basically on these moves down, here, okay, we were seeing these nice short squeezes. Okay, we were seeing these nice short squeezes. So it worked, like trying to get at here is it works both ways, right? But at some point, if we're going to see an incredible amount of long trades open up, we need to be on our toes. We need to be aware, right, that at some point we're probably going to see a big pullback. Does it mean it's going to start the bear market? No, not necessarily, right? It could, but not necessarily, right? It's just something that happens, okay? It's just the market breathing, right? Price is never just going to continue go up. I'm sure you all know that by now. But yeah, it's just something that we have to be aware of, okay? And all I'm trying to get at is that I'm waiting for those longs to come in. That's all I'm waiting for, right? I want to see all of those longs come in, okay? Of course, I would like to see it more if I was in that long trade from down there, okay? But yeah, I do want to see that because I know that would offer an absolutely amazing trading opportunity if we can see all of those longs, right, enter the markets and then maybe push them offside a little bit, and that is just going to give us that perfect opportunity to look for a nice short trade for price to pull back, but then, not necessarily looking for 50k. We'll look for a long trade, right? As if price is going to continue to hold this bullish structure, we can look for a long trade, right? We can look for a long trade to possibly take it up to all-time high. I'll just bring up the chat. I can see Some comments have come in. Jamie, good to see you back, my friend. The setup was correct, but we wait and get the next trade. Exactly. Yeah. So, I was the trade. I spoke about this with the team, and I think I spoke about this on the channel yesterday as well. I look at this trade, and there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that will look at a losing trade and think, what did I do wrong on this? I need to break it down and never, never do that again. Okay, and I think that's sort of kind of the wrong way to look at it. Of course, right? If you're doing something completely wrong, then yes, right, you should be thinking about it in that perspective. But how I look at this is like, okay, right, we had longs opening up, we had longs at the high, we had everything that I kind of wanted to see, par hitting the naked point of control, but we didn't necessarily have to see that, in my opinion. We had everything that I wanted to see, to be honest with you, and probabilities just didn't play out right this time around. But then you go back and you see how many times it's played out previously. It's like, okay, right, that was the correct decision. Probabilities just didn't play out this time. This breakup could this breakout could have so many longs open up. Yeah, that's what we're kind of banking on, really. That's kind of what we're kind of anticipating. Just an incredible amount of longs to open up on this breakout, and that could take us to all-time high, or it could just take us to 70k, where at some point we will see a lot of those late FOMO traders probably get pretty wrecked. Okay, and that's of course what we're looking to take advantage of. The stock market has made another new all-time high. What was that today? Wasn't it? Yeah, another new all-time high in that stock market. It just doesn't stop, right? It just does not want to stop. So yeah, Bitcoin still holding up here quite strong. I was talking about, okay, if we lose 66,500, I could look for a short trade, and I'm still open to that. Right, I'm still open to that possibility. But as the stock market continues to rise, I'm kind of thinking, right, maybe we will look towards 70k. So that's kind of how I feel at this moment in time. But yeah, if that happens, right, we're looking for those long trades, right? We are looking for those long trades to then, of course, get that short trade. And again, it's not necessarily that we're going to get that short trade and we're going to come down to 50k. It's more so that, all right, okay, maybe we come up to 70,000, get the short trade for a higher low. Okay, look for a long trade here and then take that higher. Okay, that's kind of how I'm looking at it, right? Not looking at it as, oh, I'm taking the short trade, I'm very bearish and I'm looking for sub 50k, right? It's that, okay, if we get the short trade at, let's say 70k, could be higher, right? We're looking for a pullback, and then we have to remember the context, right? We have to remember the context, and the context is, well, Bitcoin's actually starting to look a bit more bullish now. We're in this more bullish structure. So in theory, right, we should be looking for that long trade, right? We should be looking for that long trade. And we can, of course, then, if we do get that long trade, look for another higher high. We can look for that trend to continue. If you haven't already, please do smash that thumbs up button as well. It does really help the channel out, and I can continue to bring this content. So if you haven't already, please do smash that thumbs up button. But yeah, Mo, good to see you back, my friend. Hi, AJ. Hope you're good. I am good, thank you. I hope you are well as well, my friend. I'm short in 67 and another entry on 69,500. So 67, still at that area, okay, and then you're looking at like 69,500. I see. Okay, so yeah, for me it's I'm not in a short trade at this moment in time. I tried the short trade. Here. It didn't play out. Okay, so now I wait. Right now I wait for the next level. I think, of course, you're going to have your own plan, right? You're going to have your own plan, but yeah, I'm just not really that interested in shorting from here. And the reason why I'm not interested in shorting from here is because I don't like, even we see Damien on the chat say it as well. We don't see any weakness here now. I originally saw weakness here, okay, and now I just don't see the weakness. If we start to pull back a little bit, right, and we form like a failed auction, right, okay, then I can say, right, maybe we're seeing some weakness coming in, right? We're seeing some weakness coming into the market. But where we are now, as long as we're above 66,500, I'm happy to say, this is looking okay for a continuation higher. So yeah, I'm not really interested in shorting here now. Again, like I said, I tried it here, didn't play out. Let's look for higher prices and let's look for the short there. Or if we do start to pull back here, I could be, I could be in the realm of entering into or trying a short trade again from kind of this area. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. And in terms of 69,500. So we have a naked point of control at 69,500. I'm not too interested in the $69,500 naked point of control. I would rather see the high being taken out, okay, and then I would rather be looking for like $70,800 to be tapped. Then we see some sort of short setup there. That's kind of how I would be looking at it. What about the order flow right now? So, in terms of what the order flow is, what have I done? In terms of like the order flow now, we're actually seeing a lot of long trades open up here. Okay, we've seen a few short trades open up here. Okay, a few short trades open up here. But we're seeing, of course, here 19 million new long trades open up, and this is a high. So, this is building a reason. Okay, it is building a reason for price to pull back. Right, it is. But like I said, if we remain above $66,500, okay, I do think that we can look for higher prices. If we start to lose that, okay, right, that's when we can look for lower. But yeah, I just got no trade entry here. But the order flow, right, it's a little bit neutral in my opinion where we are now. I can't really get anything from it. I can't get too much from it. Mainly because we're just not really at a key level. Order flow is open interest is just very neutral here. It's just very flat. Nothing too much to go off here, to be honest with you. Let's go on the lower time frame. I mean, we're still seeing a lot of long trades open up, but again, like I just look how flat, this open interest has been. It's not been great, right? It's the market conditions haven't been great for trading. Whereas, looking at all of this was just perfect, right? Everything was just textbook perfect. Really, really nice to see. But yeah, the order flow is just a little bit messy here. Not too. Even the delta, it's just very flat. It's just a mixture of longs and shorts, and longs getting stopped out, shorts getting stopped out. It's just pretty ugly here. I just can't really, grasp anything here. And again, sometimes it's like this with the order flow, right? You just can't really get anything from it. It's a bit all over the place, right? Because traders are all over the place. They don't know what to do here. Okay, no one's taking control here. So that's why the order flow is looking pretty messy. And when the order flow is messy like this, it doesn't give good opportunities, in my opinion. It's example. Let's see if we can look at this here, or even this one here. just as an example. Yeah, so let's use this move up here and this short here because we took that short. So you can see, even the order flow on this wasn't even the best, right? But it was clear enough, right? It was clear enough to trade. So open interest, it was just slowly making its way up. Nice, right? Now you can see it's just flat, right? It's just pretty much flat lined, but it was slowly making its way up, okay, up to the high, right? And the delta, okay, was originally just flat, okay, but then we saw, right, of course, kind of shorts and longs opening up, but we're taking from this, okay, longs are opening up, okay, we can actually zoom in and we can see it down here as well. We've got 13 million, 10 million, 11 million, we've got 13 million, 11 million, 14 million, 12 million, 18 million, 21 million, 41 million, right? So we've had longs open up, okay? We have had a lot of longs open up here, okay? But then it was towards the end of the move here when we saw just a huge increase of long trades, like 60 million, 19 million, okay? 8 million, sorry, not 60 million, 16 million, yeah, sorry, not the 19, 60 million, 16 million, 5.2 million, 14 million, 14 million, 4 million, 14 million, 19 million. Towards the end, that's when we saw that huge inflow of long trades, that huge inflow of long trades. So, we can, get a good understanding of why price is rising here. We know, right? New long trades are opening up here. New long trades are pushing price higher. Okay. And then, of course, price starts to pull back a little bit, right? We know that these long trades are most likely going to have to cover, right? So then we know, right, we're probably in for a bit of a long squeeze. And that's exactly what we saw, right? It's exactly what we saw. We saw here 60 million, right? 59 million longs get wrecked here. What do we see here? We saw 60 million long trades open up. Okay. So yeah, gives you a good understanding of how that order flow works, right? But yeah, that's good order flow, right? It's not the best, but it's good order flow. The best order flow that we saw was a little bit further back, but I can't show that. So yeah, the order flow isn't perfect all of the time, right? But yeah, this is where you have to, you have to be good at understanding it and good at reading it, because then you can get an understanding of what's moving the market, right? Whereas here, okay, I'm just not interested in trading here, and kind of even just looking at the order flow here because I can't get anything from it. All I can get from this is that longs and shorts do not know what the hell they want to do. That's all I can grasp from this. And this is not a good opportunity to trade. Why? Because I like to look for when the majority of the market are doing the same thing, right? When the majority or when there's a large group of people doing the same thing, right? Because if there's a large group doing the same thing, okay, and that large group of people get wrecked, okay, then that can move the market pretty intensely, pretty quickly. That's what I like to take advantage of. So here, right, there's nothing to take advantage of. There is nobody to take advantage of. If you try and take advantage of someone here, you are going to get taken advantage of, right? You need to look for the obvious. Again, this market, I say it all the time, it's logic. Yeah, when there's a large group of people doing the same thing and that large group of people is wrong, right? Because it's a large group of people with probably a large amount of capital, right? That is going to move the markets. Whereas if there's a small group of people doing the same thing, okay, like there is here, right? There's a small group of people longing, a small group of people shorting, and you bet against one of those, right? There's a chance that it could play out, but right, because again, it's a small group of people. Is it really going to move the markets? Not really. Okay, that's why you want to look for a huge inflow of traders, right? Because that is when you tend to see, okay, the big moves, those nice big moves that you want to take advantage of. For example, here, the order flow here, we had 32 million, 38 million long trades open up in 2 candles, then 51 here, right? This is what I want to see. And again, this is perfect proof here that this is a game of probabilities, right? Order flow is not perfect all of the time, okay? You are still going to take losses with order flow. I still take losses with order. It doesn't give you everything, okay? Here, 32 million, 38 million, 51 million. Huge inflow of long trades. Price started to pull back. We saw 13 million longs get wrecked. Okay, this was looking prime, right? Absolutely prime for a long squeeze, but we did not see that out. Okay, we saw actually a short squeeze, right? Squeezing out all of the shorts at higher prices. Okay, so this goes to show that it doesn't work every single time, but it does work the majority of the time. Okay, it does work the majority of the time, but yeah, where we are now, the order flow just isn't looking great. I'm not interested in looking at the order flow here. It's not giving me anything, so I don't need to look at it. If we take out 70k, then bearish structure will be broken. I don't think we will break it as that fast. I don't think we will break it as that fast. Then we will break. Yeah. So yeah, if we break above 70k, we're in theory we've broken, right? We've broken this big downtrend that we're in. Okay. Why? Because in my opinion, you could argue it's this here, but in my opinion, this is the last lower high. Okay. The last major lower high. Yeah, okay, we had a lower high here. This was the start of the bullish structure, but this is the major lower high that I'm interested in right here. If we get above that, okay, yeah, we've actually broken that downtrend. Okay, we have. And what are we in, right? We're in an uptrend. We're in bullish structure. So it's like, okay, we're probably looking for that to continue, right? So, yeah. We'll see how that goes, right? We could front run. Yeah, if you don't think that, we could front run 70k. That's also a possibility as well. But yeah, we'll see, right? All I'm doing is I'm waiting for a trade entry, a trade setup. That's all I'm waiting for, right? I don't really care where price goes. Don't really care what price does. Just waiting for a trade entry, a trade setup. Okay, once I get that, I will take that trade because I'm confident in my probabilities. Okay, I'm confident in my probabilities. I'm confident in my strategies, and I know what happens the majority of the time. So I'm just looking out for those FOMO retail traders who over leverage, over position, and I look to take advantage of those. Sounds pretty horrible, right? But again, you're in these markets for yourself, right? You've got to be selfish in these markets, because if you're not selfish in these markets, the next person is selfish, and they are not going to care about you whatsoever. So yeah, you need to be selfish. And you need to understand when people are about to get wrecked, because that is the best possible way to take a trade, right? I say this, I always say the 3 types of trades that I take, right? There are, of course, trap traders that I like to look for, right? There are the scenarios where we have a huge chunk of the market getting wrecked, right? That's another opportunity, okay? And then, of course, there is the absorption, right, where we see large players, right, large institutional traders. Okay, that's what I look for those. So those are like the 3 types of trades that I look for. Institutional traders, where are they getting in? When a huge portion of the market has got wrecked, or if there are trap traders, and there are favorites. Okay, I do prefer trap traders over when a huge portion of the market has been wrecked. The reason why is because when a huge portion of the market has been wrecked, you are solely relying on the anticipation of new trades coming in. Okay, the majority of the time they do come in. Okay, but there's no reason for price to rise. Let's look at one previously. Like here, price didn't have to rise here. Price could continue going lower, but right, what we notice here, of course, is a level of absorption, because there are, in my opinion, different types of absorption. Right, we have a big buy limit order. There's not different types. It's all the same type, right? But there's absorption where, okay, you're getting a higher low or a lower high. Okay, that's kind of type. Or there's the absorption of like a swing value pattern, a failed auction, right? And this is kind of what we saw here, right? There was absorption, right? All of these sells into the market, right? They, stopped out all of those longs. These were all sells coming into the market. Price pulled back, but then price stopped here. Why did price stop here? Okay, well, because there wasn't enough shorts left in the market or sells coming into the market anymore to continue pushing price lower, right? Why? Mainly because someone's probably got a big buy limit order here, absorbing all of them, right? Well, not necessarily there, okay, but yeah, could be kind of in this region here, right? And they're just absorbing. No more sells to come in, right? They've all been absorbed, right? And then price starts to reverse in the opposite direction. That's what happens the majority of the time. But then after that, you've got to rely, okay, on new long trades coming in as well, to see that big move up there. So my favorite type is trap traders, because then there is a reason, there is a strong case for price to reverse. But yeah, that's just personal preference. They all work. They all just work just as good as each other. But yeah, I do have a preference, and I do kind of prefer looking for trap traders. But again, like if I see here absorption, we had a trade set up from here. I didn't take it. It was presented to us at 1 a.m. But that was off of absorption. Absolutely amazing trade, right? Absolutely amazing trade. All of these here, right? Amazing trades, amazing long trades, and these were all off of huge portions, seeing a huge portion of the market getting wrecked. Okay, and then of course, the absorption there, and then of course the anticipation that we're going to get those long trades opening up, which happened every single time. And then of course that led us into the short trade, right, to then see all of those long trades getting wrecked, right? It's quite funny how it works. But I think if there are no more questions, I will probably end that there. We've been live for almost 45 minutes there. And it is coming to 7 o'clock. I do understand my dog needs to go and be fed, so I will go and do that. So I hope you all gained some value from this. I hope you all found it interesting and insightful. So if you did, please make sure you do smash that thumbs up button. And of course, I will see you guys for the next live stream, which will be tomorrow, the last live stream of the week. And of course, any Visionary members, I'll see you in the Discord and in the daily market updates. So have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you ever so much for watching, everybody. And I will see you in the next one. Take care, and goodbye.
Take me home, 'cause I wanna feel like I belong. They relate to all this pain in my past, so they listen to my song. So let's go back to where it began and where it all started from. Take this chance, one last dance, 'cause I've been waiting way too